Hey, how's it going, guys? Today we are going to be talking about Wheel of Time Season 2 and whether or not Amazon can turn all of this around with the Wheel of Time fan base. Now, I come from the opinion that the show was not bad. I actually really liked a lot of parts of it, and on first watches, I was typically like on the fence, and then on the second watch through when I was really doing my in-depth deep dives on my channel, which you can go check out, I was a little bit more positive on it, and I actually rated the whole season at the end like a 7.3, 7.4, which I think is fair for television. But the more that I've gotten away from the season, the more I've really sat and thought about the criticism of this isn't like the Wheel of Time, like this isn't like Robert Jordan's like writing, I guess. Like I guess I had this realization when I was watching The Witcher, which my plan is to finish the Witcher series this year. I'm really excited about that. I've loved the short stories that I've read. But anyway, I was watching that and I really enjoyed how they were doing it. And I was like, you know what? I think I have a feeling that The Witcher is kind of doing the same thing that the Wheel of Time is, or vice versa, like adjusting it and adapting it for TV in a way that maybe the hardcore fans or a lot of the fans might not really like, because of the changes within the adaptation. And sure enough, I went online and I saw a lot of people super angry about how Netflix is destroying The Witcher in the same way that people talk about that the Wheel of Time is being destroyed by Amazon and Rafe. And I get it. I get the hate that's coming from that. I just don't think it's all that like necessary. I get it. You can be passionate about things, but like coming at people's livelihoods is a whole nother level for me. But I get the passion. I understand it. And the more that I've gotten away from the Wheel of Time show, I've sort of been like, oh yeah, this is not... I didn't get a lot of things that I wanted to see from the books in here. And that's why Brandon's sort of gone the way of being like, it's a different turning of the wheel. And there's a lot of hardcore Wheel of Time fans that have had to sort of be that way. But actually, I think they will be able to bring it around in season 2. All that to say that the sort of synopsis of season 2 has been released. I know a lot of Wheel of Time hardcore fans have probably like seen that, so I'll put that on the screen now and I'll read out what it says and give my thoughts a little bit on that, and maybe a little bit different thing that you've heard from everybody else. So I'll read that now. Season 1 tested our core characters and their relationships to each other along their journey to the Eye of the World. It was a coming of age story in the most dramatic of circumstances. Season 2 will focus on the next stage of life, finding a place for yourself within the world. Every one of our characters will find themselves isolated from the others at some point in the season, and forced to reckon with the darkest side of themselves. While season 1 of the Wheel of Time traversed geological locations, season 2 will become more grounded in unique locations for longer stretches of time. So I'm going to break down sort of that first kind of like paragraph. We're talking about isolation, everyone going to their darkest depths. We're going to be focused on more sort of locations. The next paragraph goes into talking about Rand at Falma and him dealing with his madness. So by the way, there are spoilers up until book 3 for the Wheel of Time, so get out now if you don't want to get spoiled for that. But I think they are going to do the battle at Falma against the Shan-Chan, and I think the final battle will be what we see at the end of book 2. The question is, are they going to combine elements from season 2 and season 3? I'll get into that a little bit later, but just thinking about that, I think our main locations are going to be Falma, the White Tower, and maybe probably the places they will travel in between. Whatever Perrin is going to be doing with them, maybe Perrin and Matt are going to go look for the horn from Pot and Fane. I don't really know, but I'll continue reading this and then give all of my thoughts. Following after Rand hiding in the cosmopolitan city of Falma as he tries to fight off madness, unpacking Moraine's life before she became the woman we have grown to know, and watching Egwene and Nynaeve traverse being novices within the politics of the White Tower. So that shows me that probably we're not going to get our cold opens just like showing individual little like characters like we did the first season. I think all of our cold opens are going to be an aspect of Moraine's story, and it'll probably go into New Spring and stuff like that, and I think that'll be really interesting. Also, click off if you do not want spoilers spoilers for Fires of Heaven. I believe that's that book. So I'll give you a chance to click off now for that. But we get into sort of more of Moraine's. We're setting up a lot of Moraine and a lot of Lan because of we know what happens in the books of Fires of Heaven. I believe it's that one. Sorry if I get that wrong. We know this arc that Moraine is going to go through. She's our main sort of centerpiece, and I think it's going to be season 3 when we get the part that happens in Fires of Heaven with her. So probably like a season finale cliffhanger sort of thing. That's just sort of my thoughts, but that's really far away from now. But this is why we're getting our main focus on Lan and Moraine, especially for season 1 and now for season 2. And then we also are probably going to get a focus on Rand and his sort of madness that's going on. We'll probably get Egwene and Nynaeve working with Swan and traversing the sort of White Tower politics that we get to figure out. And then whatever's going to be happening with Matt and Perrin, like I sort of talked about, I think they're going to go on the hunt for the Horn with Loyal. But I think that's why they're focusing a lot on Moraine, because season 3 will probably be this, or season 3 or maybe season 4, probably season 3, I think, because there might be, I think there's 8 seasons that he planned. I could definitely see a mid-series with what happens with Moraine and Fires of Heaven, but we will just have to see. And then in the last paragraph, season 2 introduces viewers to the Seanchan who appeared on their ships in the final scene of season 1, a group of people who are descendants of Arthur Hawkwing, the last man who challenged the female supremacy of the Aes Sedai. These followers, who have been instructed by the fallen Hawkwing to reclaim their fatherland and burn the White Tower to the ground. The Seanchan tear through resistance they encounter via leashed female channelers as weapons of war. Throughout the season, we will see our characters make their way to the major city the Seanchan captured, leading up to what could be a great battle. So they're going to be introducing the leashes. We're definitely going to probably get most of the events that happen in season 2. The big question is going to be, are they going to combine book 2 and book 3 into season 2 and mash them together? Because we were sort of thinking, especially I was thinking they were going to do book 1 and 2 for season 1, which would have been absolutely crazy if they tried to do that, and I'm glad they mainly stuck with kind of book 1 with their newer elements they were putting in. But I think that you could combine book 2 and book 3 here. The biggest question is going to be, are we going to have Kalendor then with Rand and Falma? You know, they could do that. They put the horn under the throne. I totally think they could go the route of Kalendor not being at the Stone of Tyr. I don't really know. I have a feeling, though, I'm gonna like trust this, is it's going to mainly be book 2 with Amazon's different twist and new things they're going to put in there. So they're going to pull some elements from season 3, but I don't know if we're going to get Kalendor or the Stone of Tyr in this one. I think they could kind of do it, but I think Amazon's going to do their own sort of different kind of thing, and we're going to be at Falma. I think season 3 is going to be Stone of Tyr and Dragon Reborn, and then book 4 combined. But I think we're going to probably pull some elements from book 3 and maybe book 4 in season 2, and then in season 3 it's going to be more of book 3 and book 4 sort of combined, and then probably season 4 is going to be book 5, and that's when we get our more Moraine thing going on, or they could speed that up a little bit more. It would make sense if they sped it up a little bit more. We'll just have to see. I'm more interested in your guys' thoughts. What do you think is going to happen? My prediction now is that they're going to be sticking to book 2 but doing their own sort of different thing, and then drawing in elements of book 3 with some characters. I'm just really interested to see where they're going to go from there. At this point, that's the most that I can speculate in being confident in it. I don't really know what else they're going to do after that. But you guys let me know what you think. Do you think that Amazon is going to sort of redeem themselves and listen to the fans in this next season or in the next few seasons? I hear Brandon is going over scripts, and he is able to be more hands-on now since no COVID things have been happening over on set that he's been disconnected. So he's been over and he's been reading scripts and giving advice and consulting. So hopefully season 2 will end a little bit better than how season 1 did. But you guys give me your thoughts. I'm very interested to hear what you have to say or what you think. And I'll see you guys in the next video.